And this is one of my favorites, so it's actually kind of a nice treat, Robert. And
All right,
here's the clue. Are you ready?
ready.
Today marks the anniversary for blank, released on June 3rd, 1983. Here are just a couple of locations I'd visited during my travels. No clues there.
Except for June 3rd, 1983. I
So I'm just,
first thing that comes to my mind is War Games.
and that would actually be the correct answer, sir.
See, I was,
I wouldn't be able to told you that. I would have told you 1983, but
I used to
pretty
be really
good.
good at movie release dates. I could just tell you, like May
Apparently.
14th, 1987. I'm like, oh, big business or
No,
whatever that movie was. Yeah.
that's an impressive. I mean, and there's maybe like five movies I could tell you the release dates. That's good.
Yeah.
Like the actual day, I mean,
Yeah.
like
Uh,
Jurassic Park, E.T., whatever. But that's pretty good. So War Games, I gotta ask you, are you where does this rate for you?
pretty high because,
Nice.
I was 13 at the time and, computers. I think I had my Commodore 64 and we'd have computer classes. And this was like,
Mimeographs going around.
yeah, and we're like learning
Yeah.
how to,
Let's be
go
the
into
Russians.
the internet and
Okay, then I have to ask you.
yeah.
You'll know this, but I will say to this day, I will still use pencil as a
Me
password.
too.
Do you really? Oh, yes.
So going back 25 years, I think at work at the time, I think our first password, our public password into our internet or whatever it was pencil.
Yes.
And people were like, "What?" I was like, "Did you not see War Games?" And like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but
I still like at my work computer. Password to log in. I'll
yeah,
still have it written not on a desk, but on a
yeah.
piece of paper under it. Because I once, I mean, I'll never forget it, but it's
Oh
just
yeah,
for principle. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just
We're
so great.
just paying homage to
Paying
important thing.
homage.
Yeah. So,
And if
but
you're not familiar with it, listeners or viewers, you should watch War Games with Matthew Broderick. It's amazing. It's a true 80s classic.
shall
But
we play
yeah,
a
big
game?
game.
Do you know how they did that voice?
No.
It's that actual person speaking, but when they recorded, he recorded to make it sound weird, he would record the sentences in reverse order. So like
And then play it back.
yeah, so like looking at my thing here, he would say travels, my, during, visited, have, I. And when you play it back, it had this weird
Oh,
cadence.
yeah.
And
Yeah, right. It doesn't have the same.
that's what they did.
That's brilliant.
A little War Games trivia for you there.
That is very cool. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Okay, this is where's South Arden
I
Boulevard?
don't know. This is one of my probably early locations, so there's no screen matching at all
Oh, no, it's great.
for this. So, but it is in kind of in that area of what do you call it? Hancock Park, just kind of
Hancock
south of
Park.
there.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, yeah.
yeah. It kind of has that kind of look, but at the time, the house pretty much looked the same, and I don't
It
know.
did.
Yeah,
It looks great there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good movie.
But
The 7-Eleven was in Big Bear.
yeah,
It
so
makes sense because they're
I
going
think
north.
yeah, they're supposed to be. Uh, God, is he supposed to be in Oregon? I can't remember.
Yeah,
But yeah. So when
and
I
he's
was
going to the island.
yeah, so I've only been to Big Bear once, I think, and so when I was there, I just stopped by the 7-Eleven to.
Was it a
Uh,
family trip?
no, this was I went out to do locations. I think mostly for Witchboard. If
Okay.
you're familiar with
Oh,
that,
here you
so
go. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so and I think that's still a 7-Eleven. I checked recently, and then go back to my picture there, the previous one,
I'm sorry.
because I think,
Here?
yep, okay, yep. I was just double checking, yep, but yep. So, and it still looks virtually the same all these years later. So
And if you look on the most recent of Google Maps,
it's the to
it's the
your,
7-Eleven. Yeah.
yeah,
This is
it's
it.
right. It's right there. So if you kind of click over, you can see it still looks the same.
Yep. There you
But yeah,
go. So you were
so
here, Robert. You ate a hot dog in this parking lot.
I think I got something actually out of the 7-Eleven. So
Yeah.
I remember that trip is so I
I
was there
thought
in
you were
off.
healthy.
Yeah, I was there in off season, and
There
I
we
had
go.
I can't remember my hotel. So my hotel room was like really cheap. And I think I swear
Oh,
to
it's
God,
like 40 bucks a night kind of
it
thing.
was like no, it was like it was around it was either 60 or 70 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I remember, so when I opened my hotel room door, I opened up and it was like it had this huge kind of bar, like dining room table for like 15 people and a fireplace or whatever. And there was a cleaning
It's like
lady
a
in the
suite.
hallway. And I was like, yeah, it was like I didn't see a bedroom at all. I'm like, oh, this. And I was like, I went on the hallway and it's like, I think there's a big. She's like, this is my room. She goes, oh, it's your room. And she was like,
What?
she's like, keep going.
No, it was like
And
a
so,
suite.
yeah, well, it was like more than a suite because then I went and I found like I opened this one door and it had like this huge hot tub, and so forth.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then I went to another one that had its own bedroom or whatever. So this place had like three bathrooms, and it was like huge, like for super super cheap. So
Oh,
I'll show you
that's
some. I'll show
amazing.
you some
I'd love to
pictures.
see that.
But I was just like, what am I doing? This is what happens when you go to Big Bear in off season. You can just do whatever you want. But
Apparently, of
yeah,
the run of
yeah.
the town. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's
But
so cool.
yeah, so that I just vividly remember that trip. So that was a I think I did like three concerts. I think I was down in
Oh,
Kansas City to
wow.
see Nick Jonas, and then I flew up to Chicago to see Barbara Streisand, and then I flew to
That's
LA. Actually, I flew into the Ontario airport and drove to Big Bear, and then I went to
oh,
LA
interesting.
to see Adele at the
Oh,
Staples
nice.
Center. So I was just literally jet setting around
The
the
set
country.
jetter
Yeah.
was jet setting.
I was jet setting, yeah, but
That's going to be the title of the show. We're going to make that. The um the War Games location, there's one near me. Do you want me to cover that for you and send it
yes,
your way?
yes. The thing is, I think I've driven past or whatever, and we talk
Yeah,
about
we
it as we
drove
drive
past
past.
it.
But we always like usually it's at the end of the day and there's traffic and we're like we're done,
It's a it's a bad spot for
and it doesn't quite look the same. But yes, please share
no.
your War Games neighboring location,
That Persian furniture store or whatever it is now.
which
And it was the
was
arcade,
yeah,
which I forget the arcade's name. It was like Arcade Planet or something like
yeah,
that. Um, but I'll do that shot so I can contribute to set.
yes,
I'll,
yeah. I will, and I'll give you credit even.
I'll give you credit
How
even.
nice is that? No, just kidding.
The arcade in the War Games, ladies and gentlemen, was called. Can't find it. Not
We
going to
got
waste your time.
all the all the
All of the
facts
facts here.
facts here at yeah.
You know, War Games is streaming right now somewhere. I'm going
What is
to
it?
20 Grand Palace is the name of it
20 grand.
now, but it
Okay.
was yeah.